Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be part number 5 of the Galaxian restore. We're going to work on putting the coin door together first and then the control panel. Let's go into the tumbler and we'll get the parts out of that. Those have been going for about 2.5 days now. And also I wire wheeled these up, these coin return buttons. They were all rusted and weren't moving, so I wire wheeled them all up and everything. They might need a little bit of oil still, which I'll do that once the coin door is all together. So let's go back here and we are going to get the parts out of the tumbler. I'm going to go back there and grab it, and then we'll strain it into this bucket. Okay, I like to strain it into the bucket because I reuse this stuff. There's no reason to keep throwing it away. So let me get this lid off here. And just a regular strainer I got at the dollar store. Nothing fancy or expensive. We'll look at them in a minute here. I want to restrain this back into here just to make sure I got everything out of there. Sometimes the little washers will make it through these slots in the strainer. Yep. Some washers made it through. So I'm going to have to grab those. You can't really use a metal strainer because these crushed walnut shells are too big to go through a metal strainer. So you got to kind of use one of these slotted ones. I think a couple fell through. Here's one. That's it. We can always strain it again later if we're missing a part, but I think I got it all. Okay, I got the coin door upside down on a towel so we can start putting it together. But you can see all these parts, how nice and clean they turned out. This one's a little dented in the chute. All the pail nuts for the buttons, the latches for the control panel. I even put these in there. It doesn't hurt plastic, but if you look at all the screws and stuff, you can see how nice it cleans the heads of the screws up and everything. So now we're going to start putting together this coin door. I don't have the badge for the front yet. That'll be here on Monday, but we can get everything else put in. Now I left all the wires attached to this, so we should be able to kind of lay this back in place. I gotta go grab some tools. Let me go grab some nut drivers and stuff. Okay. Let's look through our bucket here. This. Even these turned out pretty good. These were all rusted up and everything. They're pretty clean. A little bit of rust still on the back. Looks like somebody took a grinder and cut a bigger slot. I don't know if maybe they were trying to put tokens in it or something at one point, but this one's got a little bit of stuff on it still. I'm gonna go see if I can't clean that off with a wire wheel. All right, I just hit it real lightly on the wire wheel and it cleaned up the rest of that stuff. I think it was some residue from some black tape that somebody had over this coin slot because this one's smaller than this one. So my guess is they cut this bigger to maybe accept a token or something like that. So they just put tape over top of that one so the people wouldn't use that one. We need these. I gotta go in the house and grab the 25-cent emblems in a few minutes here. All right, now these should be the correct ones to hold the coin mechanism onto the coin door. You need 6 of these. And if you guys are not, if you guys are unsure about where stuff goes, you can always tumble stuff, you know, all your coin door stuff at one time and then all your control panel stuff at another time. It'll just take you longer. And the longer you leave it in the tumbler, the better it turns out. I've left stuff in the tumbler for over a week and it just comes out like perfect. These don't have the coin mechanisms. They were missing when the game came here. I'm not gonna put any in here. He's not using it for coins anyways. I try to get all my cabinets to have all that in there, but it gets kind of hard after you have so many games to be able to keep finding the original style coin mechs. Arcade Shops does sell new ones of these if yours are in really bad shape and want to change them. I try to use as much of the original stuff as I can. Obviously the 25-cent things, those always get worn out and ruined. He sells those as well. Okay, those are on. I forget which, I think this went in the center. Trying to remember where this one went. I wonder if they had it over top of that. No. Oh, maybe. This one, the lights, the 25-cent ones don't light up. I might have had this coin counter over top of one of those. I don't really see anywhere else that could have went. Yeah, I think they did. I think it was right there. And then this went this way. And this is where it plugs in. All right, let me go grab the 25-cent parts. But first, you know what, we can put these on first. Those are nut and bolts. They're like a little tiny carriage bolt. We're also gonna need this washer. I'm gonna have to clean these up a little bit. These still are kind of rusty looking. These are still kind of tarnished. I'm gonna go put these on, I'm gonna go grab a pair of pliers and go wire wheel them real quick. I just have a little wire wheel set up on my bench grinder here. and just hold it with a pair of pliers. See how it just cleans them right up. And then I put a little wax on them to try to keep them from tarnishing again. I don't know if these are stainless, aluminum, or what they're made out of. You could buy new ones of these as well. Okay, I went and put a little, wiped them all down with some wax and stuff and rubbed them off. So they're, hopefully it'll keep them from tarnishing again. So we have to put this chute on the outside with these carriage bolts. Okay, those are on, and then just take one of your chutes and goes this way. Oh, yeah, goes like this. Okay, these don't bolt on with that. I thought they did. I was wrong. Now we can put these on. These bolt into this. And it should be the same bolts that we use for the two coin mechanisms. Okay, then we have this little button thing here. Put that in. Then there's a big washer right here that goes on the inside, and then we gotta get a nut for that. Okay, I'm gonna go grab those 25-cent things. And then these go on like this. One there over top of it. And one over there. Okay, I grabbed 2 new ones of these. You can see how nice and clean it'll look. Oh, you know what? There's a clear piece of plastic on these I forgot about. Wonder if I left that on my Journey game. I bet you I did. Okay, now these 2 plates go over top of it. The slot goes downwards. Just grabbing all the hardware that I need. You're supposed to have little lock washers underneath the nut, but this one was missing 2 of them for that side. But you don't really have to have them. It's not that big a deal. Now on this one, put the hook on the bottom one. This is for a spare key for the back door. So we'll just put that back on where it came off. Put this one on, put our coin counter over top. Just like that. So you can see how it's already starting to look real nice. We got to get a lock for it and then put the badge on, and then let's get the rim on it now. And I think that's it for the coin door. Sometimes they're kind of tricky to find them with all the other ones in there. Okay. Don't tighten it all the way because there's some adjustment up and down on it in case you need to move it around a little bit to get it to shut right. And these are kind of a pain in the butt. I gotta find, I think I might have put one in the wrong spot. I'm looking to see. Yes, I did. No. Yeah, I think this one might be the wrong one. Yep, this one I believe goes here. They're just a little bit different. They're so close to the same. Yep, there we go. And then this one goes up here. There we go. Now I'm just gonna try to center this and then we'll shut it and see how it fits. Okay. That's pretty good. So there we go. We just need the badge and the lock, and this is done. This right here is the front art for the cabinet. We have the side arts getting printed right now. I'll get that out here in a little bit. I got to go in and grab the control panel overlay next. We'll put the control panel together with the new overlay. And I cleaned up the buttons and everything on that one. I soaked these for a couple days in bleach and Simple Green. Let's put the buttons together real quick before I go grab that overlay. So let's get out what we're gonna need for that stuff. We need our springs, our E-clips, should be 4 E-clips, one for the joystick and then the 3 buttons. So there's our E-clips. Get these springs unwound from each other. From being in the tumbler, they all spun into each other. Now I gotta try to figure out how to unspin them from each other without ruining them. Wow, they really tangled up good. Okay. I know that one of these buttons had a bigger spring than the other one, it seemed like. I'm going to kind of pull these out a little bit. Kind of stretch them out a little bit. I'm going to use these two shorter springs on the player 1 and player 2 button, and then I'll use the bigger one on the shooting one. So stick that back in. Now we got to put our E-clip on the bottom. Just like that. I mean, I always put the smaller side up top, fatter side towards the bottom. Okay, those are done. Now I gotta go get the overlay set. We can get that installed on the control panel, and then we can start putting that back together. So let me go grab that now. Okay, here's the control panel overlay, which appears to be a little long. I'm gonna have to trim it down. Let me get that trimmed down a little bit. I'm gonna leave it long for now. I'll stick it on and then I'll trim it back. I think the original one was in a little bit on each side, so I'll probably just trim it afterwards to where I think it's gotta go. So basically I wanna try to center fire buttons right here, our control buttons right here, which is our joystick. Try to get this to look right. Trying to put the joystick in the center of the C. That looks pretty good right there. So I have these little clamps here. A clamp right there. I'll put one up here. That'll kind of hold it in place. Get all the dust off from underneath it. We're just going to kind of hold this up in the air for a second. Kind of want to make sure it's going the right way. This has a textured laminate on it, just like the original ones do. I think I'm just going to trim these flush with the side. I can always cut it back if I don't like the way it looks when it's on the cabinet. This image is we got from VectorLib off the computer. Usually they're really good on measurement size. I didn't really check this one. We just printed it at the size that it says. And I think it was a hair, it's kind of a hair long, but it's not, because all my buttons and everything are pretty much lining up. These are a little bit off. It's gonna cover the R a little bit, but I mean, other than spending a ton of time trying to adjust everything. It'll be all right. Okay, now that that's done, we can get the wood piece put back on. And we have bolts that go through that we'll have to poke holes through the overlay. And these are the bolts here. They're carriage bolts, and you can see how nice the tumbler did cleaning them up. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of them. Six of these. We need 6 nuts. And then there's 2 Phillips screws that go out here. I'm going to go over on the wire wheel because there's some crushed walnut shells stuck in there. Okay, we'll get these Phillips screws in first. It's going to kind of hold the wood on where it's got to be. Okay, and we could poke through here and get our carriage bolts in. And then when you put these carriage bolts in, don't crank them down super tight, because if you crank them down real tight, you end up wrinkling the control panel overlay. It kind of sucks that that got cut off a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about it. Can always change it later if it needs to be changed. Okay, those are in. Get all our nuts on. This center one here has a ground strap on it. I think I gotta get a different size nut driver because this is bigger than 5/16. Let me go grab one. Okay, I almost got ahead of myself. I gotta put the washers on before the nuts. Now I know that this one had a bigger one right here because there's a slot cut out. They had this big one right here. And then I gotta find one more. I think this video, I'll finish up this control panel and we'll stop this video. And then the next video that I'll make today will be putting the artwork on the front and sides, putting the coin door on, marquee, we'll get that wet sanded and buffed out. We'll get that sticker residue off of there hopefully, and we'll get that buffed out. We'll get that installed. We'll get the marquee lights and everything put in. That'll be my second video, and then I'll probably do a third video, which will be there it is. The third video will be rebuilding the monitor chassis and looking at that edge connector on the circuit board to see why I had to jiggle the edge connector to get the game to come on. And somebody had sanded that whole edge connector on that board down with some sandpaper. So I wonder if I need to go in there with like a little hook tool and maybe pry those prongs back out a little bit. Maybe they're in too far and they're not making good contact. I do have some of that copper tape that they use to put on the edge of the edge connector where you can kind of make the traces a little bit thicker. Okay, so that's done. Let's put our 2 screws in, these couple screws that hold this wiring harness to the back side. These 3 screws here. These are just 1/4-inch drive wood screws. Okay, that's done. Let's get our buttons in. This is our yellow button, which is our fire button. Slide that in. We need the nut for it. I just take a flathead screwdriver usually and just kind of spin it tight. Doesn't need to be super tight. Let's get our player 1 and player 2 buttons on. And we might need to adjust these leafs and probably sand the contacts on them. Oops. A good way that I've used for sanding these contacts, I know some people just use a piece of cardboard, they don't actually use sandpaper. If you go to the dollar store and you buy the cheap nail files that the girls use, they're just like a piece of cardboard with real fine sandpaper on each side. If you buy one of those and you just take this and you open that up and you put it in there and you push this down and just pull it through once, that usually cleans them really good. And the nice thing is that there's sandpaper on both sides of it, so it kind of sands both contacts at the same time. So you don't have to, do one side and then do the other side. Okay, now we need to put the joystick in. We need to get this washer slid in here, get it lined up so that we can get the joystick through the hole of the washer, which this sometimes can be challenging. Okay, we're in. Pull it through. Then we gotta put our E-clip on there, which these ones aren't too bad. And this E-clip is real loose. It's on there, but it's loose. Let me go grab a pair of pliers. I'm gonna kind of tighten it up. Let me see if I can squeeze this E-clip I'm actually have to go get a pair of needle nose pliers. Got my long needle nose. These usually reach in here pretty good. I'm just gonna kind of squeeze it. That feels better. Okay, that's done. Now the only thing left we have to do to this is put these hooks on the bottom that the latches hold the control panel down with, which are these two latches here. Oh, these aren't the right ones. These are for the cabinet. It's these ones right here. And I don't remember. Yep, they go this way. We get our 4 screws here. Put our other side on, and then our control panel, I believe, is done. Oh, you know what? I lied. You gotta put these two on. These are what go into these. These go on the cabinet, and then the control panel drops down and that pin goes through that slot, and it keeps it from sliding back and forth. Okay. That is it. All nice and rebuilt. Looks good. Seems to work all right. Still has those bumpers in there. Like I said, I'll go through and clean those contacts afterwards on all those. Okay, so this is ready. The coin door is ready. I'm just gonna push this up to here for now. We'll end this video. I'm gonna grab lunch. After lunch, I'm gonna get the cabinet out of the spray booth, and we are going to put the front art on, and then we will put the side art on, and then we'll put the coin door on, you know, just start putting it back together. And then I'll make another video later on today or tomorrow on rebuilding the monitor chassis, which we're just gonna put caps in it. We're not gonna go crazy with it. It was coming up with a pretty decent picture. It was kind of out of focus, so I didn't really mess with the focus knob very much. So we'll get that wiped down, recapped, and we will look at the circuit board to see if there's anything we can do with that edge connector, and we'll go from there. So we only have probably 2 more videos and we should be about done, other than that front badge for the control, or for the coin door. That's all that's left. So, all right, guys, if you're liking what you see, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later on today.